We can do whatever we want. Welcome back to the Independent and Unstable podcast. We have your hosts, myself, Lacey, and the lovely, as always, Julie. What? I can't compliment my best friend?
No.
Absolutely not.
Not without a reason.
What do you think this is? A normal friendship where we hug?
It's just good.
When's the last time you think we hugged? Your senior banquet?
Maybe. Not even mine, probably yours.
I came to yours because I got my American FFA degree recognition.
Yeah, I don't think you hugged me though.
I don't know.
I hugged you because I gave a retiring address because I was president 2 years in a row.
No need to flex, but you know.
So I gave my retiring address as a junior and I addressed you, Mark, and
Kirsten and
Kirsten.
Kevin, right? We're just
Did
name
I?
dropping everybody.
Kirsten messaged me and said she's been listening to the podcast and she's really enjoyed it. So
Oh, well,
shout
that's
out to
good.
you.
Thank you, Kirsten. Congrats on
So,
getting engaged if you
right.
hear this. Crap, I had a thought and then I just lost it. Oh, I would literally give you a kidney, but I haven't hugged you in 6
I will
years.
not hug you. It's just weird. Like I
I'm
hug
just-
my grandparents and sometimes I hug my husband. The only person I want to hug is my baby and she won't hug me back.
She's a little shit.
hates affection like that.
I'm sure she'll eventually like it. Like, I feel like once they get to, like, the toddler stage, because, like, my little niece Alice, all she wants is huggies, especially from her mom. But, like, I feel like she's just so small. She's in that wiggly stage where she's just like, I can crawl, I gotta go.
I think it's just because she fucking hates me.
I don't think she hates
Whatever.
you. She loves you.
Yeah. She likes me.
She tolerates me.
Yeah. Well, she needs me to survive, quite literally. So.
Yeah, that's very true. So,
She has to like me a little bit.
yeah. So how you been?
I've been living. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I woke up.
So my little sister told me that we needed to trigger warn every podcast. So, the episode where we talked about the incestuous guy who didn't understand why people didn't see their siblings naked as adults.
Yeah.
She listens to it while she eats her lunch sometimes at work.
Oh.
And she unfortunately started eating her food when we were talking about dick crusties.
Ooh.
So she had to turn it off because she was eating.
My apologies, Kelsey.
And she was like, you really need a trigger warning. I said, the whole podcast is a trigger warning.
Yeah.
So unfortunate for you that you were eating during it, but that's your fault.
Yeah, like, thank you for listening, but, like, sorry. Like, you know us as people.
It was so funny because I thought for sure she was going to bring up when I told the story about her dropping the food container and eating the glass. And I was like, oh shit. And she's like, you were talking about like crusties. And I was like, yep, I
Sure
remember
did.
that one.
Speaking of that story, I actually, to convince myself that I wasn't in pain yesterday, told Erica, our tattoo artist, that story, and she literally about lost her shit.
I fucking love Erica.
I do too. Yeah, I got my whole calf tattooed yesterday. Sucks. Like, literally.
Well, I mean, it's a piece of skin that doesn't get beat up a whole lot, you know?
Well, like, the first part was golden. Like, I was good. Like, I have a vlog coming on it, and in the first footage you see, I'm like, yeah, we're good. And, like, even the knee pit in the beginning was fine, but the problem was is she had to work from the bottom up so that when she was wiping, she didn't wipe away the stencil. So the last I tried to say portion and part at the same time. The last part was the knee pit where the ears were, and my whole calf was already swollen and throbbing. And then it was the worst part to have a tattoo. It was so bad. I've never, like...
What are you gonna do when she actually does, like, the back of your knee?
We're going to start with it when I have the most energy. We've already decided. Because I have another appointment coming in January, and I was like, all right, listen, those flowers that you just outlined,
Can't wait.
those are going first.
Oh.
Like, you're going to do those.
No, I mean, like, I'm talking, like, in the bendy.
She might not even do the bendy. Like, I might be a puss. But, like,
Get a
literally...
temporary tattoo.
Literally, because when she was doing the line work of the flowers that is, like, right near the crease, was fine. Weird, but, like, fine. It was just because, like, if people... Julie knows this now because you got your first big piece not too long ago.
Yeah, I did.
But when you get a lot of big pieces, your body reaches a cap. So, like, any tattoo is uncomfortable. Like, there's some places, I'll be honest, yesterday, I almost did fall asleep on one spot because there's certain parts of your calf where you don't have a lot of nerves.
Yeah.
So, like, when people say they fall asleep, sometimes I can believe them, but I also think that they probably had, like, 2 or 3 hour tattoos.
Well, like, my first tattoo was probably maybe an hour. And I fell asleep. Like, I thought I passed out.
Yeah, and like you got on your shoulder blade. That's very understandable. But
Right.
I really wish.
Now, covering that tattoo up, there was no fucking falling asleep. So
None.
I tell you, there's nobody I hated more that day than Erica.
It was her. Yeah.
That fucking bitch.
Because, and that's what I want to talk about, because I think everyone tries to act like a hard ass. First of all, let's all just admit, at some point in time, tattoos do hurt, because it's
Right.
needles going into your fucking body.
Yep. I had to explain that to my sister the other day.
2, like, the people who are like, oh, they always, like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick, but, like, there are always people that have tattoos that took 4 hours or less. Once you sit there, once your body has been through constant
It's your
needling
skin,
for 5 hours, that's my cap.
Like,
once I hit 5 hours, my body starts to say, hey, stop.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I'm not ashamed.
You're literally ripping open your skin and then wiping it with a dry paper towel.
And she used alcohol to wipe my leg off, and I already, like, to clean off before she started the tattoo, which is, like, normal. Like, that's
Yeah.
normal protocol to make sure the skin is dry. Like, it's very sterile. But I already have dry skin, and I don't put lotion on before I go to a tattoo because of that.
Yeah.
So my skin was so dry that my skin was catching the ink, so she had to extra rub my skin. And... But, like, it just drives me insane because people try to, like, invalidate your pain. Like, I've still got a whole leg sleeve. Like, I'm doing the damn thing. But I'm not going to be afraid to admit, I'm posting the vlog. I cried at the end. The last 45, like, half hour, the full last half hour, probably, I was crying and, like, curled up. Because we wanted to finish the wolf, but my body was done. My calf in the videos, if you watch that one video I sent you, you can watch my calf twitch. Like, I'm standing still, but my leg is literally, like,
Yep.
dancing. And once she stopped tattooing, I was like, oh, it was a sigh of relief, but my leg is super red and sore today. Like,
Yeah.
It's mad at me.
I mean, that's better than what mine looked like. My skin was red and sore by like hour 4. And she was like, I don't know if we're going to get to finish it today. And then she finished it. And I was like,
Yeah, like, it was literally so bad. And, like, I told her, I was like, I'm not mad at you. Because, like, she's like, I felt so bad because you were crying. I was like, I knew, like, that's just how I am as a person. Crying for me is more of a release now that I'm older and I'm not ashamed to do it. So, like, I just knew if I cry, it might help me a little bit.
the end of my tattoo. Listen, because I did cry. I didn't cry, but like, I was tearing up and I was like, I'm a strong bitch. I'm not about to fucking cry. So I was fine until she goes, hey Lacey, will you give me the white ink out of the cabinet so I can mix up some white ink to do highlights? And I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
She literally was like, we're not going to do white highlights today. I said, you're fucking right. Because, like, literally, it wasn't even just when the needle was in my leg. Like, anytime she touched my calf, my calf was on fire. Like, I raised myself up, and my arms were shaking.
Well, the taking a break doesn't help either. Because then your skin's finally like, okay.
We're good.
And then you're like, by the time you're back to normal, it's like,
yeah. But I'm glad it's done. We know what we're doing for the next session in January. We're going to fill in the flowers. We're going to add my deceased dog's paw print and then add some more like floral leafy stuff and then fill in the flowers on my front. And so those all we can break up. So I was like, knee pit first, get that shit done, and then go everywhere else. Because I know everywhere else will be bearable. Mm-hmm. That knee pit though, I'm telling you, I'm a strong bitch. I've sat through all my other tattoos like a boss. That knee pit, that'll put you on your fucking ass. I don't care how tough you are.
Well, it never gets the brunt of anything, you know what I mean? You hit something, you hit it with
Yeah, my kneecap was fine. Gucci.
You were in Spain without...
I was in Spain without the P. Julie put me on her Snapchat story when I was getting my knee tattoo because I was on my period.
She was like squirmy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that she was like doing this stupid little fucking face. I'll post it to the Instagram because I saved it. But like, she was doing like this like... to the music, like just making all these dumbass faces. So I took a video of her and I was like, she's in Spain. And I meant to say she's in Spain without the S.
You know, because then it's pain.
But I said she's in Spain without the P. And I didn't notice it. 75 people viewed that story. No one said anything except Emily.
Yep. Who was drunk at
and
the
no
time.
offense to you, Emily, but you are not one of the smartest people I know. I love you.
She knows it.
She was very fucked up. And she slides up and she goes, Sane?
Question mark?
And I was like, fucking kidding me? Not only did I make a mistake, 75 people saw it, and Emily is the one correcting me. So yesterday...
Emily, who got a 14 on the ACT.
Yo, you didn't have to do her like that.
I did have to do her like that because she doesn't listen to this shit.
Oh, well, in that case...
Let's roast Emily, no.
Boom, roasted.
But it was so freaking funny. Oh, God. I was in pain. Because, like, that tattoo, I was on my period. So I was just tender in some spots because I was on my period.
Your period makes everything worse.
Exactly.
And, like, I feel like the week after your period, you start, like...
Because, like, my shin tattoo, I took that one like a fucking champ. But it was 5.5 hours. So like I had reached my peak,
And there was
but
a lot of stippling.
Yes, so
that
I
was
good.
like,
But this,
straight up.
A lot of loins. A lot of loins.
Yeah.
That crazy bitch, I love her to death, and she'll be fine with me calling her crazy bitch. She used a single needle for 90% of the tattoo to make it that realistic. And I love her for that because this is like, if you go check my Instagram, this tattoo is insane. Like,
well, like, when I tell people that it's like worth the money and time,
I honestly,
because if you're from Hillsborough and you know about native ink tattoo, you know it's not easy to get in, like, it's not easy to get into her.
No.
Because she has such a big clientele.
And because she's incredible.
But it's because she puts so much time into, like,
detail.
Oh my god.
Well, because I told her when we started the tattoo, I was like, I want the most epic, badass wolf you've ever done. And she's like, I understand the assignment. And so she literally was back there and she spent almost 2 full hours just on the muzzle of the wolf. And you can tell when you look at it. And I'm so grateful, but man, oh man, was I done.
I wanted to fucking kill her when I was mine. Like, up until, because I got a Harry Potter cover-up tattoo because I'm a fucking nerd.
Dude, your tattoo's dope as shit. Don't let anyone say anything. That thing's impeccable.
That is my asset to myself.
Yeah.
But I was so fucking ready to kill her because at that point I'd only sat for my tattoo that was currently getting covered up by the Harry Potter tattoo, which was like maybe an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from design process to end, maybe an hour.
Yeah.
Because it was just words.
Mm-hmm.
And then my ass tattoo that Erica did, which was all of, what, 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, and it's your ass.
Right.
Very meaty area.
Which, if you want to get a painless tattoo, I
Get
feel
an
like the ass cheek is good. Because, like, it was, like, ticklish more than anything.
I will say the least painful spot that I have had thus far was the side of my thigh where I have snow. So, just from my pain tolerance
if there's meat
perspective,
there, you're good.
The side of the thigh is a very safe place. I don't have any tattoos on my arm yet, but people have also said that the forearm itself is pretty safe, and so is like the shoulder blade usually.
Yeah. The shoulder blade is fine the first time around until you get something covered up, and then that fucking hurts.
My rib tattoo was like that because if you don't know, I had a rib tattoo done by an asshole of a tattoo artist who fat shamed me, didn't put my tattoo where I wanted, and also made it his own without telling me.
But not in a good way.
Yeah. And he filleted me, like you can tell in the first picture, like he went so deep that it tore my skin. Mm-hmm. And so the tattoo looked like shit 6 months later, and I just lived with it for a couple years, and then I found Erica, and she did it. And I was really shocked because my rib...
Shout out to Emily, who we were just shit-talking for introducing us to.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone knows, it's fine. But, so then literally, like, when she was going over it, the tattoo itself didn't hurt too bad. Like, my ribs were pretty mild, but then when she would hit that scar tissue, your soul leaves your body.
Yep. Woo. Yes, it does.
Hot damn.
Yes, it does. But, like, up until the point of getting my first tattoo covered up, which, like, I have a theory that everyone gets their first tattoo covered up, or at least added to.
Mm-hmm.
It is sick, right?
We're 2 in that club.
Right. So, in my experience, no one has their first tattoo uncovered. But, up until that point, I'd only sat for, like, an hour max. And so, Erica, we got halfway through. I think we got the outline done.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, your skin's like really red. Like, I don't know if she's going to let us finish this tattoo today. And I was like, that's fine. Like, just stop wherever you think my skin can handle. I'd rather you do that than, rub me absolutely raw. And then next thing I know, here we are 7 hours later, and I'm like sitting in the chair, and like, she's like, it's okay. And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, because I'm like 5 big pieces in, like, you got this, bitch.
Shut the fuck up. And then Erica was like, ooh, but that hurt. And I'm like, you fucking cunt.
I know. I love them. I really do. I love tattoos. And, like, it's so weird to put yourself through that pain. I literally, and, like, I know I might have some people come for me for this comment, but, like, literally there was a few times of this tattoo where I was like, this has to be comparable to childbirth because I thought I was going to pass out. It was literally like, mother of God. And I tell people, I'm like, it's not the actual tattooing itself. It's this, when your body reaches that point of, you're done. You're done. Like,
well,
there's a
like
point.
your pain sensors get to a certain point where
because your body's
I can't
like,
take anymore.
Yeah, your body's like, hey sis, it's been 6 hours. Why are you still letting someone stab you?
Well, if the tattoo had gone even a minute longer, I don't think I would have been able to.
Dude, when she was done, I was like full relief. Like I just laid there like a dead man, and then she was like, I was like, let me see it. And so she took a picture and showed
me. There's no excitement by the end of the tattoo either.
I was like, let me see it. And she showed me and I was like, okay, that was worth every fucking second. Because it is.
So she kept saying when she was behind me, because I couldn't see anything.
No, because it was on, well, that's like mine. Mine's on the back side of me.
And she was like, it looks so good. I'm like, it fucking better. It better fucking look great. But I had give you something to cry about parents.
Mm-hmm.
So like the last thing I was about to do is be like, I don't think I can do it.
Yeah. Oh, that was me. It's like I knew that I was not leaving that with like a piece of my wolf missing.
Fuck no.
No, there was.
Well,
no
because then
way.
you think about, okay, well I'm already in so much pain, but like if I have to leave and come back, then that's more scar tissue that we're gonna have to go over, and I don't want to fucking do that.
No. So I was literally sitting there like, I'm just gonna handle it. So I was literally like gripping her thing and just crying, and then when she was done, I was like, dead.
Yeah. By the time you leave, by the time I left last time, I had a very close connection with her tattoo chair.
Yeah.
Me and that bitch.
You were on that cowboy, like cowgirl style.
I was cowgirl style on that bitch for 6.5 hours.
Yeah. I was just topping it like in missionary. I was just clanking on top of it.
I'm so glad you said missionary. It's such a weird segue, but I'm so glad you said missionary. So I recently got into the Stiff Socks podcast.
Bro, you sent me that clip.
And he's, okay, I can't not remember what his name is. I know Trevor from the White Claw.
Yeah.
Ain't no laws between claws.
Yeah, that's how I think we all found Trevor.
And
Wallace.
Tommy, is that, honey, that no Tommy Wow? Do you want some?
The fajitas, you know.
The
sizzling
sizzling bitches. They got the meats that jump off the plate like the 4th of July.
I love that man.
So funny. Okay?
Hilarious. And
Also, you can really tell how awkward he is as a person in the podcast, and I really, really like that. I don't know why. It's
for
just
sure.
so funny.
But his friend does a lot of videos with him, but I'm with you. I do not know his name. For some reason, I want to say it's Nick. I don't think that's right.
I don't know.
Getting strong Nick vibes, that's probably wrong. It's going to be like Carl.
Anyway, his co-host, unnamed, person, is a freaky fuck.
Apparently,
right?
yeah.
Like, absolute freaky fuck.
I haven't gotten into the podcast, but I need to after that.
I listened to it just because of the clip I saw on TikTok.
There's been a couple, I don't know if you sent me both of them, but I saw another one that also had me dying. I also love when unnamed man grabs the pretzel bucket. Like, that's his, like...
This is it. This is the one I'm
Yeah.
talking about. And he's talking, like, it's very similar to this podcast where they just talk about anything and everything. Just when it comes to them, and they're open books, quite literally. So we know that unnamed man likes freaky sex. Like, I mean, he's into feet stuff, and he's into, like, choking, spitting, slapping.
But the other one is when Trevor gets his first foot job.
Yes.
That's the one.
But he is telling Trevor, he's like, you know, we just did missionary the other day. And, like, it was the craziest thing. She got wetter faster, and she came faster. And Trevor just looks over and he goes, yeah, that's fucking sex. because every other time he has sex with his girlfriend, he chokes her, they like spitting, tying up, and he's just like, you know, missionary was the craziest thing. It was like, it was so much better for her. He's like, yeah, because it's fucking sex, dude. You're not fucking torturing her, you're having sex with her. And that's when he grabbed the pretzel bucket and was like banging on top of it.
Yeah, because it's like, shit, you got me, fam.
Right. But
I freaking love that. It's so funny.
My husband doesn't like podcasts, but we were driving to my family's house on Christmas, and we were listening to that. We were listening to the podcast because he didn't like podcasts, and by the end of it, he was like all into it. They were literally talking about Nancy Reagan giving blowjobs. May she rest in peace. Well, I guess she gave some sloppy toppy back in the day. But it is a really funny podcast.
Oh, yeah. I just love Trevor Wallace. I like his sense of humor a lot.
Oh my
He's
God.
a very funny person.
Every time I see a Tommy Bahama shirt, I just immediately think of him.
We just look at it, like when we're in the mall, we're Tommy Bahama. Oh my God, honey, is that the 2020 Tommy Bahama? Give my checkbook.
Give my checkbook. We have to leave for the airport. Our flight leaves at 6 p.m. I know it's 6 a.m., but we have to leave right now.
I fucking love his videos. I just love, like...
Andy does videos with celebrity DJ Dylan Francis, and, like, I'm not saying that I would love to be friends with celebrity DJ Dylan Francis, but I'm also not saying I wouldn't not want to be friends with celebrity DJ Dylan Francis.
I'm really glad you did mess up a little bit there because you were way too successful with how many times you were able to say celebrity
DJ Dylan Francis? I love celebrity DJ Dylan Francis.
I was so glad you messed up at the end because I was like...
Play Dancing Queen.
By ABBA.
Play Dancing Queen by... Hey, celebrity DJ Dylan Francis, play Dancing Queen by ABBA.
For your birthday, I'm going to get celebrity DJ Francis.
Please.
I don't have enough pull.
My birthday's not till November. You got
that
plenty
is
of
true.
fucking
I
time.
do have a lot of time.
Celebrity DJ fucking cameo. Give me something. Celebrity DJ Dylan Francis, please DM me on Instagram. Hey, no mind to the man in the pictures with me. That's my husband.
He's okay with it.
I didn't ask, but I'm assuming.
I'll make that decision for us.
Celebrity DJ Dylan Francis.
What are you gonna do?
He also loves celebrity DJ Dylan Francis. Thinks he's so funny.
I mean, he is.
He's an awkward type of funny.
I
fucking
love
him.
Because that's how I am in person. Like,
Yes.
I think that I do a pretty good job of portraying who I actually am, because, like, I'm mostly filmed when I'm just doing normal shit. Like,
Right.
my Snapchat story was literally my TikToks. Like, I used to do that all the time, but then, like, I got to a point where I stopped because I felt like my Snapchat friends were probably tired of it. Like, I think
What
maybe,
is
like,
this that you're doing?
like, I feel like 4 people were probably like, this is kind of funny, and then everybody else was like, quit your shit. So for me, that's when I started posting on TikTok. Like, me and Julie literally just, like, made a decision, the beginning of 2020 to
We went from making fun of people posting TikTok
literally
to both like, all right, we're gonna post.
But, like, I literally, like, I know everyone who kind of blows up or, like, becomes a social media influencer was like, I never expected it, but, like, I straight up did not, because I was trying to be just more of, like, my, like, self, and, like, I still am, but, like, obviously my social media is very much more cow-based, like, I'm not gonna even front.
Right.
But, like, I had no idea that people would just...
My favorite thing to tell people is that my best friend, quite literally on complete fucking accident, got famous on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, got some TikTok clout, like, completely on accident. Because she literally posted a video that had been on your Snapchat story 3 years fucking prior.
Yep.
And then the whole internet falls in love with Snow.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, you like snow? I also have this really cute bottle of a calf named Oswald right now, and everyone's like, oh my god!
Shouts out to Oswald for coming at the perfect time.
Dude, seriously, God works mysterious.
The OG.
Shout out to Daphne for being a piece of shit mom. Walking out on her
Daphne,
son.
wherever you're at right now,
On
I hope you see him as a star.
She comes back 5 years later trying to accept him as a star. Hey, how y'all doing? He's like, Mom, you weren't here for me when I was Drake in the wheelchair.
I'm gonna clean out his closet.
Mom, you weren't here for me with Drake in the wheelchair. You don't get me as Drake with the hits.
I started, did I tell you this story already?
No, but we need to take a break.
Yeah,
real quick,
okay. Well, we'll take a break and then I'll tell you about my Degrassi story.
Okay, sounds good. We'll be right back.
Alright, we're back.
Yes.
Okay, so.
Before you talk about Degrassi, hang on. I just want to let you know I was not allowed to watch Degrassi technically because I was too young. So my brother and sister, because my sister and brother are both 8 and 6 years older than me, they would watch it in our basement because we had a TV down there, and I would literally sit on the top step and sneak watching it.
Dude, I fucking love Degrassi. I'm pretty sure my mom, okay, so there's different generations of Degrassi. So there's Degrassi High, which was around when, like...
My siblings?
No, probably actually older than that.
Okay. Remember, my sister's going to be 34.
I know. But it's probably... Because I would assume that she was watching Degrassi The Next Generation.
I don't know.
Which is the one that I watched.
Okay.
Because I was far too young to be watching it. Did my mom understand what it was? No. It was on Nickelodeon, so it was fine. Nickelodeon when I was growing up is not like Nickelodeon today, people. So, there's Degrassi High, there's Degrassi The Next Generation, and there's another Degrassi that would be targeted to, like, my sister's generation. So, I fucking loved Degrassi The Next Generation. And when I tell you I loved it, I mean, I never missed a fucking episode. And my sister and I shared a bedroom. That's just how young I was. I was probably 8, way too young to learn about this shit, okay? But I probably learned more on this Canadian teen television show than I did in half of my courses throughout my schooling. So, I do this thing where I find comfort in TV shows and movies, and I will rewatch them and rewatch them and rewatch them.
Yeah, you
I hyperfixate on things, but I cycle through.
Yeah.
Okay?
She likes to...
I like to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I've seen Grey's Anatomy all the way through 6 times. Sons of Anarchy 4 times. We're not even going to talk about Friends and How I Met Your Mother. I've seen it a lot, okay? I hyperfixate on stuff. And so I got on Degrassi Talk.
Ooh.
Thank you, TikTok. Put me on the right side of TikTok.
Fine.
And, yeah, I'm not on Duggar Talk anymore.
Oh my god.
So... there's this girl, she posts just like clips of Degrassi, and she's so funny. She's so fucking funny. I wish I remember her fucking name. But she'll like record the TV or whatever, and then she'll like give her comments as it's happening, and she's just so fucking funny. Because she don't put up with nobody's shit. And like I know she has to be like my age or a little bit older, like addressing these 13-year-old kids in this TV show that aired 20 years ago. But, so, I got on TikTok, and I was like, okay, I'm on Degrassi TikTok again. I'm like, fuck yeah. Now, let me Google where are they now. Okay, because I'm curious. Obviously, we know
where Drake is.
Started from the bottom, now he's here. Okay.
We got it.
We know where he's at.
Yep.
Okay, we had that little bit of a, like, here's what they're doing when Drake's I'm Upset video came out because he went back to Degrassi High and brought a bunch of people from Degrassi to the music video. Spinner was in it. We love Spinner. Anyway, I have been rewatching Degrassi The Next Generation because I got inspired by TikTok. So if you didn't know, you can go to YouTube and you can watch all the episodes for free. They're all on there.
Dang.
Every single one.
Wow.
So I started watching it, and I'm sitting there, and spoiler alert, I don't know if it's really a spoiler alert because the show literally came out 15 years ago, but spoiler alert, Snake gets cancer. Okay? So there's Emma. Sweet little save the world Emma. Nothing bad ever comes to her. She's just so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Her stepdad gets cancer. Blood cancer.
Ooh.
Okay? So I'm sitting there fucking crying profusely. And the acting is so bad. No hate to anybody who was on Degrassi. The acting...
Is it like Twilight bad?
Not that bad. Okay. They're Canadian.
So they're already better.
Difference. They're just nicer people. But, so the acting is subpar.
Yeah.
Okay, it's early 2000s acting regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very subpar. And I'm sitting there like... And my husband's like, are you watching this shit? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what happened? I was like, our stepdad has cancer. He's like, okay. He's like, haven't you seen this already? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, does he beat it? And I'm like, yeah, but like, he has it now.
And it's kind of hard.
And so he realizes what I'm watching. He realizes that it's Degrassi. Okay, there's one thing my husband knows about Degrassi, and that Drake gets shot.
Okay.
Okay, we don't call him Jimmy, which is his name in the show. We don't call him Aubrey Graham, because that's his real fucking name. No, only refer to him as Drake.
Yeah.
So he's like, was Drake in this episode? And I'm like, no. Well, why? I thought he was on the show. I'm like, yeah, but that's not how Degrassi works, okay? Sometimes we don't see characters for 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Well, where's Drake?
I want Drake.
And I'm like, I don't fucking know. Was he supposed to be on the show? And I'm like, oh my god. Will you just let me fucking watch my show in peace, please? I don't care about whatever you're trying to get at. I know that you're trying to piss me off. It's fucking working.
Mm-hmm.
Leave me the fuck alone. So, last night he's playing video games, whatever, and his war station is right next to the TV. So I watch the TV while he is gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Which my husband is trying to get affiliate on Twitch.
Yes.
So.
Little plug to Bobby Stoker with 2 R's. Go
and
follow
Mike
him.
Ginger with 2 R's. Go follow them. I'll put everything in the description of the episode, whatever. So he's sitting there, he's gaming, and I'm watching. And I told him, I was like, Drake doesn't get shot until Terry's boyfriend Rick comes around, because Rick is a piece of shit. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's a woman beater.
Fuck Rick.
He put Terry in the hospital in a coma.
Terrible.
She almost died. Fuck you, Rick. Anyway. Also, they typecast him really well as a school shooter. I'm just saying, like, they did a really good job. But, I know it's fucked up. Did a really good job. Sorry. And so I told him, I was like, when Rick comes around, then Drake gets shot a few episodes later. Well, by God, Rick was in the episode last night. And so he takes it. He's like, does he die? And I'm like, does who die? I said, nobody fucking died. Well, did he get shot? And I'm like, Drake? And he's like, yeah, did he get shot yet? And I'm like, no. What the fuck is your hyperfixation on Drake getting shot?
Why are men so
It was so
obsessed with violence?
traumatic. Like, and I'm like, no. He's like, well, I thought Rick shoots him. And I was like, he does. Just not yet. Well, like, will you let me know when it happens? And I'm like, what the actual fuck is going on? Why do you care? You sat here and roasted me for watching the show. And now you just want to watch Drake get shot. In the back, by the way. Rick's a pussy.
Let's just add that real quick.
Rick is a pussy. Ricky boy, small dick energy.
Very small dick energy to be shooting somebody in the back.
He shot Drake.
In the back.
He shot Drake in the back.
Not Jimmy.
It's just so funny because I'm like, first and foremost, why do you give a shit what I'm doing?
Exactly.
Second of all, why are we hyperfixating on Drake getting shot?
Like, why? Men love
That's
violence.
one of the most traumatic scenes in all of Degrassi The Next Generation. Second being when JT York gets fucking stabbed outside the party and dies. JT York did not have to die. I said what I said. He and Liberty finally got together. She was pregnant. They had planned their life together. He was so excited. They're leaving the party. He goes out to his car. Somebody runs fucking by and like shanks his ass, and then just takes the fuck off, and then he dies in the street.
You know?
Who the fuck wrote that?
I don't know. But that reminds me of when I got my hat stolen.
Jesus Christ.
Literally. I mean, similar.
Not even close.
Not
no
even
one fucking died.
No, not even in the same realm.
No.
You know what I hate though? Because you were talking about it and it made me think of it when you were explaining your husband's, hyperfixation of just asking.
To drink a shot.
We're circling back to Emily.
God love her. We should do an whole episode on Emily. Or have Emily in the middle.
Say after here, just take our roast.
This is our analysis of Emily as a whole.
And she's here to witness. No, but I love Emily to death. I really do.
Right.
And it's not just Emily that does this. I only have that on the dome because Emily just did it Sunday. So that's why it's fresh in my brain. I know that I can be annoying when I watch movies. My issue with if I've watched a movie before someone else and I'm showing them, I'll watch their reactions because if I love something, I want someone else to love it.
Right.
Or I want someone else to get that joke or get that humor. And I realize why I'm so much like that now. It's because I used to watch movies a lot with Emily. That bitch doesn't pay attention.
What was that? What just happened?
Oh my god. And I felt like such a boomer sitting beside her because she'd be on her phone and then she'd look up and be like, oh wait.
Shut the fuck up and pay attention, you'll know what's going on.
Exactly.
You were watching The Grinch.
No,
Okay.
on Sunday we actually were watching, we watched Extraction and then we watched, there's a movie that just dropped on Netflix called Sweet Girl with Jason Momoa. Pretty decent movie. I've been in a big action movie kick recently.
I want to watch Don't Look Up. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet.
With Jennifer and
Jennifer Lawrence,
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio,
Yeah.
Jonah Hill, and Meryl Streep, which
Yeah.
if you haven't watched, I haven't seen the movie. I just want to watch the movie because I watched the press runs for the movie. And they literally would call Meryl Streep the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
She thought the entire time, they were calling her the GOAT the entire time, filming the movie, press conferences, whatever. She just thought they were calling her the old GOAT. She thought it meant because she was old.
Oh my god.
Meryl fucking Streep. So they're doing pictures for a magazine or whatever. And Jennifer Lawrence is like, yeah, the GOAT can go next to me. And Meryl Streep goes, yeah, the old GOAT. The old GOAT goes wherever people want her to go. The old GOAT this. And she goes, oh my god, Meryl, do you think that we're calling you old? GOAT stands for greatest of all time, right? She was like, oh, no, I thought you were just calling me old. And so she said the rest of the time she would be like, I'm the GOAT. I'm the motherfucking GOAT.
I mean, honestly,
And all I
she
can think
is.
about is how sad Meryl Streep must have been thinking that they were calling her old. You're Meryl fucking Streep.
Don't take that kind of disrespect.
She is the GOAT. Anyway.
But yeah, it just grinds my gears, man, because I'm just listen, watch a fucking movie. I feel like a boomer now. I already just
my
feel
dad.
old.
If you pay attention.
I know.
Sorry.
I really, I hate it. I have to do it with my mom. She'll be like, oh my god. It was like living with a toddler this morning. My mom had questions about everything. She thought I had answers to everything. What's everybody's obsession with eyebrows these days? I don't fucking know, Mom. What's that sound? I don't know. What are they doing up there on the road? Fuck if I know, Mom. I lied. I just looked at her and I was like, why do you think I have all the answers? I said, call my older sister. She knows everything. Sorry, Sam. I love you if you listen.
See you Friday.
This will come out the week after, though.
So by the time she knows you're talking shit about her on the podcast, she'll already be gone.
Yeah. So we're safe for another few months.
In that case.
Let me open up my book.
No, when I watch movies with people that I've seen before, I do similar things, but instead of that, I watch when people aren't paying attention, and I'm like, you need to fucking pay attention. That's part is the best part of the whole fucking movie.
I just hate having to explain things because I get so frustrated, or my mom will ask me questions and I'm like, I don't fucking know yet. I'm watching the same movie, especially if it's the first time. It was my first time watching those movies with Emily, and she's like, well, why did that happen? I don't fucking know.
Watch and find out.
I'm right here with you. The only upside I have is I'm not glued to my phone. Who are you texting?
Who is more important than Jason Momoa?
Right? I mean, and then Bruce motherfucking Willis was in the next movie.
Bruce
Pay
Willis.
attention to Bruce Willis.
Bruce motherfucking Willis.
Please and thank you. It's driving me nuts. But that's literally what I did the whole weekend that I was sick with a sinus infection. Saturday and Sunday all day, me and Brad just sat and watched action movies. That's all we fucking did. Because I literally have been in such an action movie kick, and I love them. But I will say,
I can't get into action movies.
I love them.
I watched 007.
Mm-hmm.
with my ex-boyfriend who we talked about a long time
Got
ago. And then the last action movie I went to a theater to see was Batman: The Dark Knight Rises, also with that boyfriend. I don't know if
I
my
think
brain.
he just gave you a bad feeling.
It wasn't even that. It was just I don't like going to movie theater at all anymore because of this. Because The Dark Knight Rises was when that movie theater in Oklahoma got shot up.
Oh my god, yeah.
And like we were viewing the movie like 2 or 3 days after that had happened.
Ooh, yeah.
And all my true crime brain thinks about is like copycat.
Yeah.
Copycat murderer.
Yeah.
Copycat murder. So the whole time I was sitting there watching the movie, my boyfriend's fucking loving it, and
You're
it's
on
great,
edge.
and I'm like, somebody's gonna fucking shoot the place.
Yeah.
And I still hate going.
I don't like movie theaters that much either.
I feel vulnerable in a movie theater.
I don't know. First of all, you're gonna pay $38 to get some snacks.
Right.
Why are we doing that? Why is popcorn $12?
Precisely.
What are we doing? And then I don't know, like I would much rather rent a movie and watch it in the comfort of my own home. Like I have no desire to go and watch
on demand is such a big thing now.
Yeah. I really don't think movie theaters are gonna be that.
No, and it's sad because like up until that point I really did enjoy going to movie theaters.
yeah, it
It
was
was one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, it was really fun to do, especially when you're younger. Like it's a perfect like thing to do, you know. Oh, let's go see if there's a good movie on.
Well, and it was a good first date thing too, like because it doesn't require a lot of talking.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. I really just think that fucked me up.
I agree. I also, when I was younger, like obviously this is completely different than a shooting, and that's awful to have happen. But when I was really little, Sam took us to see the first Cars, me and Emily, and I was like 8.
Ka-chow.
Thank you. And there was such a bad storm that there was like a tornado warning, and like we had to evacuate the theater, and like that was really traumatizing at 8 years old.
Right.
Because like I thought we were gonna die. Because like my sister was freshly 16, just had a license, and like my family just trusted her with everyone's life. Like literally, she had infant Kaylee, and then me. And so she has to like rush us to her fucking Dodge Stratus and take us back.
Perfect car to drive when you're in a tornado. It's not gonna get picked up and flown around.
It's 1,000 pounds max. And she like I remember she was very calm. Like my sister's amazing with kids. Like I like to give my sister shit, but she is phenomenal with kids. Always has been since she was young. And I don't know if that's because she was forced into it being the oldest or what, but yeah, it just really fucked with me because I already, when I was young, hyperfixated on storms. Like I was 9 years old Googling ACCU weather, which is AccuWeather, but I always spelled it out to help me spell it because that's how young I was, making sure I was going to this site. And I would track the storm coming in. I'd go outside because I was terrified of them. Every storm I thought was going to turn into a tornado, and I would just have so much anxiety. And so at that point, I didn't go back to. I remember Brad bought us tickets for Barnyard, and I didn't want to go, and he was pissed. Fantastic movie.
That's kind of boy tipping.
Does Bustin not kind of look like Otis?
Fuck.
The meme that says every guy with blue eyes.
I said that to him. Remember, he's like, "What is this?" And I'm like,
If I look you in the eyes, I see
fuck.
this.
Hi, Otis.
When I look you,
called boy tipping.
it's a great movie.
Let's get farm. Also a great TV series.
Mm-hmm.
One of the few movies turned into TV series that was like banger.
Mm-hmm.
Nickelodeon's not the same now.
Well, like, and it was a movie I really got behind because obviously at that age I had cattle.
Yep.
It wasn't something. Yeah. It was something that wasn't really talked about. I did still get annoyed that all cows were black and white, and I'm like, there's this thing called beef cows, y'all. I know it's the craziest shit because that's something I still get. People are like, why are your cows like fluffy and don't look sick?
Because these are the healthy cows.
No, dairy cows are also healthy.
They're also healthy. They're just their
milk.
body takes so much out of them to make milk is the problem.
Yeah, like their body is focused on making milk, so they don't need to have fat and
Not
muscle.
fattening up
deposits.
for the winter like
Yeah,
beef cows.
my cows are meant to be used for meat, so their bodies are built to have fat and muscle deposits in a lot of different places, so that's why they look chunkier.
I'll still always refer to them as the sick cows and the healthy cows and the sick goats and the healthy goats because that's what they look like.
Yeah,
They look sick.
Yeah, it's very different when you look at a meat versus a milk animal.
Very different.
Insanely different.
That's so crazy.
I know,
Wow,
but that's like
really cool.
wow, that's like really cool. I get a lot of people that comment though, and I really like. I never want to reply to the comment because I don't want people to think that I think it's a hate comment because I know it's not. But people always be like, "What are your thoughts on dairy farms?" And I'm always like, I have pet cows because
I like to drink milk.
Because I'm an idiot. Like, I'm not vegan, I'm not vegetarian. I have pet cows because I'm an idiot. I loved my animals, and I couldn't part with them, and my dad, I'm too much of a daddy's girl, my dad's like, fuck, we're gonna keep these cows, and then he fell in love with them. Like, I'm still, I still eat meat, I still drink milk. And I love being able to advocate, because there's a lot of farms that, even though they use their animals for production, treat their cows with the same love, respect, and like
they give them
care.
a happy life while they're there.
Exactly. Like, there is so much work that's been put into making sure that animals are treated with respect and treated the way they should be treated. Now, are there still bad eggs? 100%.
There's always going to be.
There's always, but then in that same.
But that's in anything. That's in fucking childcare.
Anything. But I'm just here to tell you that I have friends with dairy cattle who I get selfies with them kissing and loving on those cows. Even though they're not theirs, they just work on the dairy farms. You know? One of my friends on TikTok is Tyler the farmer, and he works on a dairy operation, and he fucking loves those cows, and they are taken such good care of because they're open to the public. That farm he works at up in Maine, they let people come through all the time, so like they ain't got nothing to hide.
Do they have one of the big carousel milkers?
I don't know. I'll have to ask
I bet
him.
they do.
They probably do.
That's so cool. That's just the coolest thing to me, because I grew up, my grandparents milked Holsteins
So did mine.
for 40 years.
Yeah, so did my grandpa.
And I remember thinking it was the coolest thing. It was one of my favorite things to do was to go help milk. And I just remember my grandparents being like, I don't know why the fuck you think this is cool.
Just wait till you have to do it every
hard
day.
work every day at 4 a.m. and 4 p.m. But I remember my favorite thing to do would be go down in the milking pit. Because like the cows would come in, they would eat their feed, you put like 5 cows on each side, and you walk down the stairs, and there's all the milking machines and the iodine and the wipes and the rags and everything. I just think it's so cool to dump some cow titties and some iodine, clean it off, and put the suckers on there.
And that's the thing, like, I know that it's hard for people, but like, there's so many people that sit there and preach, like, to advocate, but then they still are not vegetarian or vegan, and it's like, what are you doing? Like,
What is the difference between what you're doing and what other people are doing?
You just don't see it, is the thing.
You're choosing not to notice.
And like, that's totally fine. Like, I also am somebody who eats meat and still benefits from animal products, but I also love and respect animals, and I show that every day that I love my animals. And this is we're built different. Like, our farm is just different. We focused on show cattle because I was into it. Now Kaylee is, and I enjoy selling to cute little 4-H and FFA kids. Like, I love doing that.
Well, like, and to put, I don't really know how to say this without it coming off weird. So like, you can love and adore a cow for its whole life, knowing that you're going to use it for a production animal. Okay. For like meat.
Yeah.
Okay. That doesn't mean you should give them any less of a life just because you know at the end of the day they're going to end up on a dinner plate. No different than, you know, there are people that have kids to take care of their other kids via organ donation. Okay?
Insane.
Insanity. So you wouldn't love Joe any less because you knew that he was going to be an organ donor. Like, if he was dying, you'd still want him to be a happy, healthy person.
Yeah.
Even though at the end of the day you're going to profit off his organs.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
It's just,
it didn't make sense. It was a good high thought. Not high, but it felt like a high thought.
It was a good joke. A great
joke. It was almost a good analogy. But I know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get it. My thing, like, it really is, like, that is something I try to, because I love educating. I love when people ask me questions. I love when I get to, like, teach people and they're genuinely curious to learn. And I love just getting to share my farm with the world. But something I really do want to remember, like, have people remember and drive home is that, like, even though people use cattle for meat, even though people use cattle for milk, they're not abused. Like, PETA takes few clips from things and they make it seem like the end of the world, and it's not.
One of my favorite PETA propaganda pictures is it's a guy.
You share yours, then I'll share mine.
Holding, is it the sheep?
No.
Oh, okay, mine's the sheep. So if you don't know, to make things like wool coats and stuff, they simply shear the sheep. Okay? You just
haircut.
Clip them like a haircut, painless. Okay?
Doesn't hurt the sheep.
It's very.
It's actually relieving because
right,
they have that
they can't get any of their heat out.
No.
So literally all they do is clip them, like you're going to the barbershop getting a haircut. Okay,
yeah.
Clippers, just bigger size.
Worst thing you could do is nick them a little bit.
Right. Okay. So that's literally all it takes to get the wool from a sheep.
Yes.
PETA. It's just so funny. PETA posted a picture for one of their campaigns, and it was, "Is your coat worth it now?" I'm pretty sure is what it said, and it was
Something
a guy
like
holding a bloody lamb without any like wool
skin,
on it, and
yeah.
I'm like, you dumb motherfucker.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
Nope.
First and foremost, we're not taking lamb's wool.
Mm-mm.
We're taking sheep's wool.
Yeah.
Okay?
Lambs don't even grow wool yet.
No. So, don't hold the baby sheep
Yeah.
all bloody, acting like some sheep had to die for someone to get a fucking coat. No. They got sheared, okay? It's beneficial for the sheep to get sheared.
Yes.
It's also done in a humane way. They flip them onto their butt so that they can't hurt themselves, they can't hurt anybody else. They don't restrain them.
No.
They just clip them.
Yeah.
And most sheep, it only takes one time for them to get used to it because then they're like, oh shit, this feels good.
Yeah. It's insane. Absolutely insane. And PETA, their money goes for those commercials. Less than 10 cents on the dollar goes towards the
Same
animals.
with the ASPCA.
Unfortunately, yes.
They get you with those commercials and
Mhm.
everybody pays that money. But the production value on those commercials are so fucking big.
How do you think they get Sarah McLachlan to sing that song?
Right.
They had to
Not
pay
doing
her.
that for free.
She ain't doing that for free. The love of the puppies. Anyway, not the shit.
Fuck you, Sarah McLachlan.
Really quick, I will tell you my favorite PETA clip is there's this thing that they use when, like, worst case scenario on dairy, especially dairy operations, and it basically looks kind of scary until you explain it to someone. It's the thing that hooks on their hip bones and they can be picked up by like a large piece of equipment, and everyone immediately is like, oh my god, that's inhumane, like you drag cows around with that. No. This is what happens, let me explain. Cattle can get sick just like humans. And when you're sick, you don't want to do anything, so you may lay down. But cattle, even though they do lay down 10 to 12 hours a day, they can't lay for a long period of time. Just like we'll get bed sores, they'll actually start to have internal organ damage because how large they are.
Yep.
So to save the animal, you have to physically make them get up. And instead of using a hot shot or hitting them, they don't want to do that. Those are both inhumane. It harms the animal because you're trying to get an animal who doesn't want to get up.
Yeah.
And you can't pick up a cow. I'm sorry, Hulk Hogan. You can't. No one is picking up a cow because, first of all, dairy cows are usually over 6 foot tall at the hips.
Yep.
And even though they're skinny, they're still 1,800 pounds. So they have this machine that goes on their hip bones since their hip bones stick out, and it just picks them up real quick. And then they can put the belts on them that are more comfortable and keep them in like a sling. And people are always like, oh my god, doesn't that hurt their hips? And I'm like, have you ever picked up a child by its hips?
Right.
Our hips are literally our strongest bone in our body.
Yep.
Let somebody who could, I mean, not me, I'd be lifted up in spirit, but like someone who could actually pick me up by my hips, like just grab me like that, it wouldn't hurt.
Anybody who does any kind of stunt work in like cheerleading or acrobatics,
The worst
you're
thing
picking people up by their hips.
Yeah. Like, it does not hurt them, and it's the only way, like, your only other option is to let them die there.
It's also not like a log claw that just has 2 points on it. Like,
No.
it's dispersed, so there's not a bunch of pressure in one spot to
No.
make it painful.
And, like, yeah, there might be a little bit of discomfort. I'm not going to deny that.
Right.
But it's not hurting the cow, and it's the only option you
it
have.
also benefits
the cow.
the cow.
Because you only have so much time before they're going to start having organs shut down because of all that pressure with them laying down that extended period of time.
If you have any question about, like, sorry PETA, but if you ever want to fact check PETA
Come to us.
and have a question, well, not even that. If you have, like, any type of question about how, like, certain things are done, even, like, down to, like, slaughterhouses and stuff like that, you need to go Google Temple Grandin.
Oh my god, I love her.
Homegirl revolutionized the production
I
game
got to meet her!
for, like everything. Like, there's a reason that the stalls are the way they are. There's a reason that the runs are the way they are. There's a reason that there's light everywhere. Like, there's a reason for everything.
Yes, and that woman came in and said, we're going to do, she has such a famous quote, and I can't remember it now, but she's like, I eat animals, they're delicious, but we have to treat them right, we have to treat them with respect, and we have to make sure we do everything we can to keep them safe, healthy, and happy.
Yep. So, Google Temple Grandin. If you don't know who Temple Grandin is, amazing person.
Oh my god.
She understands animals on a whole different level.
When I got to meet her, I was literally fangirling.
Yep.
I was just like...
Also, if you're a foreign person and you don't know who Temple Grandin is,
step up your quad.
sorry.
I love her. She is. She, like, I can't remember if it was my junior or senior year of college, but basically we would watch a lot of her, well, even our freshman year in college, we watched a lot of her videos just on how slaughterhouses are now set up and designed to make it more beneficial and better for animals. And now a lot of corrals, how we have our corral set up, is based off of Temple Grandin.
Alleyway, yep.
And everything else. Like, she really has done, she's an animal scientist,
Yep.
but more a behavioralist. And she has really looked into animals and what is going to be the most beneficial for them and the best for the animal.
Well, she's got sensory disorders too.
She's
like
on the
herself.
spectrum.
She's on her spectrum. Yeah. On the spectrum. So she understands how scary it would be to go down a dark alleyway with, you know, So that's why we put light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason why everything is done the way it's done, and it's to benefit the animal.
Yeah. There's
But
a reason they have
we
quiet
did take a
time.
break.
Okay. Yep.
We may have already missed on some footage, because I don't know what time we started again.
Worst case scenario, you just don't get to see our lovely faces.
Oh well.
Oh well. We're gonna take a quick break.
Alright, we're back.
We are back after on our soapbox of PETA.
Well,
It's so hard, you know?
and what's really hard is that it reaches the people that don't understand first.
Yes.
And then those people are looking for a cause.
Mm-hmm.
And then they choose that cause, and they don't understand.
Well, there's just this, like, picking apart that our society has really enjoyed doing. Like, I see it on TikTok
Everyone
a
picks a
lot.
side.
Well, and not even picking a side, just picking apart. Like, no one can just see a video and not say something. Because, like, I don't let it bother me too much, because I know people usually have good intention on my videos, but, like, I posted a video about how I have a barn cat. And I explained in the video, like, I'm going to check to make sure that it's not a pet, because it does seem friendly.
Does seem healthy.
And well taken care of. But I'm going to take care of it nonetheless. And people are like, well, make sure you also... And I'm like, I just fucking said that. Like, I'm not going to just, like... I'm not harboring a cat, like, fugitive. Like, I literally am just basically opening up my barn and I'm now feeding it. So that in case it needs a place to stay, it's got one.
Yep. It knows it's okay.
And it knows that it's a safe place that it can keep coming back to. But, like, I don't deal with a lot knock on flipping wood. Like, I'm lucky to have built a great community that, like, most of the time, like, people are genuinely... And I do feel bad because I feel like how people comment on TikTok has made people hyper aware. So, like, people will be like, no hate at all, and then just ask a genuine question, be like, but it's no hate. And I'm like, if you have a question, I love answering and educating. Like, you have no issue. But I literally seen a video earlier where this girl was benching. Okay? She was benching. And had her hair down, and it was something about her gym crush. Read the comments. You really work out with your hair down?
Motherfucker, she was making... First and foremost, so what the fuck if she does?
I don't care if you go into the gym with a full face and your hair curled. Do whatever the fuck you want. Also, I wouldn't want to lay on my hair in a ponytail. Also, ponytails are terrible for your hair. A lot of girls go to the gym now with their hair down. A lot of boys wear their hair down. Like, it's no big fucking deal. Why is that the top comment? Why are you so concerned?
Because people have to have something to complain about. That's literally what it is. And everyone has to have something to complain about.
It just drives me insane. And, like, I think it might be immaturity. Like, I think it's a lot of people in high school.
And a lot of people and insecurity.
Yeah, like, I think that's what it is. Because I feel like I probably would have, like, thought those things when I was younger. So I try not to be, like, too angry with it. Because, like, I never comment back. Sometimes if I see a video where, like, people are really getting malicious, like, I'll definitely be like, hey, y'all, let's take a second. Why are we doing this? Like, and maybe comment something like that. But
also, at the end of the day, it's a TikTok.
Yeah,
it's
not that deep. It's not
if
that
it ain't
deep.
6 feet, it's not that deep.
And, like, I am just so, like, I'm an animal advocate, obviously.
Right.
I love them. It's one of my biggest passions in life. But I'm not going to shame you if you feed your dog pedigree from Purina because your dog is fed and that's all I fucking care about. My dogs would eat cat shit if I let them. My parents buy really expensive dog food that I feed my dogs, for sure. But I will tell you right now that regardless of what little internet vet tech warrior told you, every single dog food brand, regardless of how shitty you think they are or how low quality, they all have a person that has a PhD that designs the formula for animals. Now, do some have better ingredients? Of course. Do some have more fillers? Of course. But they're all meant to feed dogs. And if you can keep your dog fed on Purina versus what the fuck ever, expensive Eukanuba bullshit, I'm just happy your dog's fed.
Well, I'm like, newsflash, all those brands use the same thing with a different label on it.
And also, Purina also makes Old Roy and a lot of other breeds that you thought were super expensive. They're not. They come from one factory where they just change
It's
a
like
few
my husband works
ingredients.
at a paper factory, and like there's all kinds of different, you buy Staples brand paper, you can buy like such and such pound paper. They're all the same.
Like, and I just...
It doesn't matter if you buy Staples brand paper or Dollar General paper. It's literally the same paper. And he was so mind blown to figure that out when he started working there. Because there's a $12 price difference.
Yeah.
In a pack of paper.
Just like dog food. Like, I'm telling you, I understand, and I'm glad, like, that people have really taken better care of their dogs. Like, I really do love that. But I hate the absolute shame that people get when they're feeding their animals. And, like, because it'll be a video, and they'll just, like, pan over, and you'll see a bag of dog food. And then that's all the comments are.
If you're hyper-analyzing like that, you got a problem.
Yeah. Also, I love when people are like, ugh, Pedigree is McDonald's of dog food. Yeah, and you eat McDonald's. So what does that say about you?
Right.
We're eating processed
Get
fillers.
shit on, Stephanie.
Every fucking day you eat processed fillers.
There's fillers and everything.
And it's the same people who go and get an 800 calorie fucking macchiato in the morning telling you to make sure you're feeding your dog a fucking raw diet.
Really? Because you just ate half your calories for the day.
I mean, come on.
For
Like,
cold
just
foam.
let people live. Like I said, we feed fucking Dr. Something holistic dog food. It's best breeds. It's dumb expensive. My mom found it. It's Ohio based, so she likes it. And it's cool. We have to feed grain free because my dog Drama has every health condition you could think of for a Cocker Spaniel. I love him to death, but he does.
We really do be having
And so we do have to feed grain free. But I have no judgment. Purina Pro Plan, I don't care how many people try to go to war with me, I'll die on this hill. Purina Pro Plan is a good ass dog food for anybody who needs to find a dog food that isn't going to break your bank. Purina Pro Plan is a good dog food. Purina is a good company. I will suck the dick of Purina because I use all of their shit.
Speaking of dog food, there's a dog food plant that's not far from where my husband works. And when he first started working there, he was like, man, every morning it smells like bacon. Like, it smells so good outside. And you can figure out what the fuck it was. And you're like, it smells like bacon. Every time I leave, it smells like bacon. And it smells so fucking good. So finally, one day he, like, drove out that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Purina. Purina smells like bacon.
It's
He used
just
to think it smelled so good. It's so good. It makes me smell bacon in the morning. It's a fucking dog food plant. It's so funny.
But I'm sorry to get on a soapbox there, but I had seen while I was scrolling on TikTok with some spare time earlier, every time.
But no, like, honestly, if you're scrolling through TikTok and you're hyperfixating on something in a video that's not even meant to be part of the video, you're just straight up looking. You're trying to fight with somebody.
And it's like, why? Why spend that energy? Like, it drives me insane. Because, like, that's some of the reason why I don't like to show my dogs a lot on TikTok. Because with cows, not everybody has cows. That's way less common. So people can't really, like, battle me with what I'm doing for my cows.
Right.
But, like, with dogs,
Majority of the population is dogs.
and so they'll, like I took my dogs.
And everyone's an expert.
Oh my god. I'm a vet tech. So was I. Shh. It's okay.
People do the same thing. Thanks to Brad Mondo, hairstylists.
Yes.
I don't like Brad Mondo.
Oh, we're gonna just we're gonna make it this the
I
most.
don't care.
Can you please just title this the most controversial episode?
Well, I don't. Sorry, Brad. Sorry, Brad Mondo. But I don't. And it's not, who gives a fuck? Anyway, let's not tell people how to cut their hair at home. Okay? Let's not do that. I get it that people are still gonna do it, but if they're trying to follow and they're like, oh, here's a licensed hairstylist telling me how to do it, I can definitely do it. No.
It's like
No,
feeding
Brad.
it.
Because then you're encouraging people that don't know what they're doing to try and do something. Coloring your hair at home is one thing, okay? Cutting it, you cannot come back from a bad haircut.
No.
You have to grow that shit out. That's a commitment that you're making.
Yeah.
Hair color, I can finesse that.
Yeah.
Brad, stop fucking teaching people how to cut their hair at home.
Well, and I just like, I don't know. Sometimes with his videos, when he says stuff, I'm like, that's wrong. And I'm not a hairdresser. Julie's my best friend who's a hairdresser.
Also, I won't be getting any packages from Mondo hair.
I have heard some of his products are kind of good though.
So, I have watched Brad Mondo for a long time, and I used to really enjoy Brad Mondo's videos.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we used to watch a bunch of them all the time.
I used to really love his videos, because what he was saying was valid, and I was like, yeah, that's exactly right. Like, yeah, that's exactly right. Now I watch his videos, and because I watch his videos literally from when he had like a couple 100,000 subscribers, he contradicts everything so bad.
Yeah.
Like, he'll say stuff, and I'm like, but when you started out, this was bad.
Yeah. Well, my thing is, like, I'm not a hairdresser, obviously. Julie is just my best friend who's a hairdresser. And he, like, will be like, oh, babe, like, when you went from this color to this color, you should have used 40 volume. No one should be using 40 volume unless you're a hairdresser. No one. Like, I'm sorry, but you need...
I don't own 40 volume.
You should not be telling people...
I got my grandpa some 40 volume developer to bleach out some old deer skulls, okay?
Like, you should not tell people to use 40 volume because their hair is black and they want to go blonde. That is asking for people, because I'm not a hairstylist, but I just know from Julie being my best friend that bleach processes at different times, and if you don't get that off there's a 10-minute window from when your hair is okay to ramen noodles.
I'm not gonna sit here and critique another hairstylist's work. And a part of my problem is, I think the reason that he says the stuff that he does is because he likes the reaction that it gets out of people.
Yeah. That's
Here's a hairstylist telling me that I can go from black to blonde at home. Please don't tell people that.
No.
You're like encouraging such bad behavior. And I'm not a person that shames somebody for coloring their hair at home. I understand. I used to do it. Every fucking hairstylist used to do it. And if you have a hairstylist that says, I never did that, they're fucking lying. Sorry. Said it. They're lying. They've all done it.
I actually have never done it.
No, I meant like hairstylists.
Oh, I was gonna
there
say.
are hairstylists that they've never colored their hair at home. We've all done it. That's how we all figured out we liked hair.
Yeah.
We were fucking with our own hair.
Yeah.
I do not shame people for doing their hair at home. I will not shame people for doing their hair at home. I understand that financially sometimes it's easier.
Yeah, 100%.
I understand mentally it's sometimes easier. Some people can't bring themselves to leave the house. Completely get that, especially now with COVID. But I will never encourage somebody to do their hair at home, especially not a haircut.
No.
Anything past your bangs, sorry. Do not do it. Sometimes you shouldn't even do your bangs.
I would not.
But like, especially over COVID, he was like encouraging people. Like, I was out of work for 2 months because Daddy DeWine shut us down because of the Rona.
Yeah.
Okay? Valid, I get it.
Yeah.
And here's Brad Mondo on YouTube teaching people how to cut their hair because salons were closed down because of COVID.
Go to
Also realize that when you're teaching people how to do that, they're gonna be like, okay, well I can do it at home myself, and then you're taking business away from other hairstylists.
Yeah, like, and I'm not trying
hairstylists who actually do hair to make money, not just talk on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be on YouTube, so I'm not trying to.
No, it's not even that. It's just he's not working in the industry.
Yeah.
He's translated himself to a different place.
Yes, so don't make people go out of jobs, because then people, because like he is very big now. I mean, every single hair fail video you go, Brad Mondo's gonna find me, or like on TikTok it's Brad Mondo's gonna find me. So like, yeah, people will come in and be like, well, Brad Mondo said, and it's like, okay, but like, he is a hairdresser, but he doesn't know every single thing. Just like no hairdresser.
I don't know everything either. I just know that the fact that he contradicts himself so bad is what makes me be like, now nothing that you say is valid.
Yeah. What got me was just telling people like, oh, like just like giving advice is one thing, but just being like, oh, well, if you want to go that dark, like you should not use 20 volume. You should always use a lower volume if you're doing it at home, because you don't want to ruin your hair.
Right.
You're not at a salon.
Well, and the reason that hairstylists do like try to prevent people from using box color is box color developer is always 40 volume.
Yeah.
You don't need that. If you're just touching up your roots, you need like 6 to 10 volume. That's it. But he just contradicts himself so bad, and then you're teaching people how to do stuff so they don't have to go to the salon. You're taking money out of somebody else's pocket.
Yeah.
I lost several clients when we came back from the shutdown.
Yeah.
Mostly because they decided that they didn't need to have their hair done every 4 to 6 weeks, which is fine.
Yeah. That's
some of them because they couldn't afford it. But some of them also learned how to cut their own hair at home.
Yeah.
That was a client every 6 weeks that I lost.
Yeah.
And then you have Brad Mondo, who at one point I'm sure did work in a salon, but now is making majority, if not all of his money,
from his business.
And YouTube.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to worry about if people are sitting in his chair or not.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Brad Mondo. Just saying.
I have heard his products were good, but like you said, there might be the chance that there is silicone in them.
Well, I've never used them. I don't know.
We all have those things that irk us. I get it. I've had people.
His contradictory behavior is what irks me.
I've watched people, which I won't go on a soapbox because we need to end our episode soon, but I've watched people give very incorrect information on the ag industry that really upsets me. Like I've seen people say that mama cows are so aggressive to their babies, that's why they separate them. That's not why you separate them. Be honest, tell them that you separate them because then you use the milk for human consumption after you get the colostrum, and then you bottle feed babies.
Yep.
Just be honest with people. Don't say that mama cows are so aggressive and so violent, and that's why you separate them.
I mean, some of them are, but they're not.
It's like very low amount, actually.
And the chances are they're going to be more aggressive to you as a person than they are to their baby.
No. Cattle are such maternal animals. Don't spread that lie just to get you less hate because you are a dairy farmer. Just be honest and open with people and explain to them. Simple as that.
That's your job as an advocate.
Yes.
That's your job as an advocate for anything, is to explain all the nitty-gritty details.
I
so that
always am
people
transparent.
understand.
I let people know anytime there's something good, bad, or ugly on my farm. Because I want people to know that this still is real life. There is still animals that I'm taking care of, and sometimes I can't do what I like. Sometimes I don't win.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that animal has to be put down because it's the best for them.
Well, and that's the other thing, is you have to, if you don't have the right things on your docket, then people are gonna know.
But that's what feeds the PETA type of thing. Like, don't lie just because you don't want hate.
Yep.
I understand that the community...
Well, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what reason you say that you're taking babies away, people are just, oh, you're taking babies away?
Yeah.
That's it. So you might as well give them the correct information as to why you're doing it.
Because they know.
Right.
They know at the end of the day, so don't lie and say, well, yeah, like, no, just tell them, okay, do you drink milk? Yes, that's why we do it.
Yep. My grandparents, very small scale milk production. Bottle babies all the time.
Yeah.
If they had moms or milkers that didn't produce as much milk,
Mm-hmm.
then they would let them keep their babies because they produced enough to sustain their babies, not enough to be on the production line.
Yeah.
But it's a very common thing. If it's
Yeah.
a milk production animal, they need the milk that they produce to make money so that
Yeah.
they can keep doing what they're doing.
2% of the world is farmers. That's why we have such large operations.
Yep.
Because such a small amount of people are feeding such a large amount who don't understand and who disrespect the industry so much.
Because they don't understand.
And that's why I have taken it upon myself to want to be an advocate.
Yep.
To make sure that people understand. I don't think anyone's dumb. I don't think any question is dumb. Just make sure that you actually are learning from a reliable source. Ask a farmer who's in the trenches. Don't go to PETA who's profiting off of giving you those sad videos so you'll send them money.
Right.
That's my last words.
Well,
sorry for a heavier podcast
We got
episode.
kind of contradictory or controversial today, but that's fine.
Listen, sometimes you gotta do it.
I said what I said.
I said what I said. Hope you guys come back.
Love you, Brad.
Hope you guys come back next week after our very controversial episode. I just felt like
Sorry
choosing
if I offended
violence.
anybody.
Yeah, that's never my intention.
I don't intend to offend anybody either. I'm just letting you know that this is what
It's
I'm
good.
advocating.
It's good to hear from an actual hairdresser who is making all of her money from being a
actually doing
hairdresser.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think that is a different perspective.
It is. But
We're gonna get off
we
here.
hope you had a happy new year.
Yes.
All the socials will be down below. I will link Mike and Caleb's
Twitches.
Go follow them.
Let's
You
pray
don't even
that-
have- don't even have to watch them. Just give them a follow.
Let's pray 2022 is better to us, please.
And we'll see you guys
Next week. Peace out. Bye.
Bye.